I'm just sharing the links real quick and then we can get started.
Talk. Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear that, Luis? Unfortunately.
Okay, links are shared. Let's get this started.
All right. So again, the process, you already know it. So just say it one more time. Ruben, you'll go first, and then Victoria, and then Luis. So Ruben, you have 10 minutes. You don't have to use all of it. So Courtney, let him know when he's good.
Okay, go ahead and start.
Okay. All right. Sorry. All right. So I'm just gonna jump straight into it. Try to keep this under 5 minutes if I can. Save some time. But basically, I guess I'll just break down my game in a couple parts. I'm gonna start with my strategic gameplay. And actually, speaking of my strategic gameplay, I want to speak about a movie that I kind of just watched recently. It actually happened a couple days ago. It's called Eight-Legged Freaks. It's a weird, crazy, stupid movie, but it's hilarious to watch. And the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up is because actually when I watched this movie, there was this weird spider that actually kind of sort of reminded me of my game. And this spider, what it would do, I have no idea what it's called, but what it would do is that it would actually bury itself on the ground and it would just kind of sit there. It would just wait, continuously waiting. And then whenever the right moment presents itself, like a cricket or a rat or a little bird steps by, it would strike. And it would bring that prey into its little cave, and it would just feed, and it would just wait days, hours at a time, and it would continuously do this. That kind of describes my game in a nutshell, at least the strategic aspect. I play this game in moments, at least up until the final 5, which I'll get to that. But I play this game from moment to moment to moment. The biggest thing I had to overcome was the fact that I had a target on my back already just because I was a previous winner. So I wanted to lay low, but I wanted to make big moves at the same time. And what I would do is I would make these big moves, but then I would hide behind threats, targets, other players in the game after I made them for a little while before I made my next one. Talking about big moves, I had 3 big moves off the top of my head that I felt like, even though I didn't do it by myself, I was 100% the person that at least instigated these moves. I was the person that actually made these moves kind of happen. I joined forces with other people to make these moves happen, but like I was the one that started these moves. Move number 1, Ivy. While I couldn't have done it without Luis, I couldn't have done it without Victoria, Mark, Riley, Stephanie. I needed each and every one of them. I was the first person to kind of approach the idea. I was the first one to reach out to Luis about doing it. I was the first one to reach out to my alliance with Victoria, Riley, Mark, and Stephanie about doing this. And basically, I wanted to make sure Victoria was in the Annihilation because she had told me about how many connections she had in the game. Victoria, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. Or not Victoria, sorry. Ivy, if you're watching this, I'm really, really sorry. But you told me way too much information. You told me about how many people you trust in this game, and the move had to be made. So secretly, we got Ivy into the Annihilation. Once again, my promise to Luis was that I would make sure that absolutely no one knew about it, and I made sure to make sure that happened because I didn't want him to get in trouble for it, but I needed him to make that move, and he did, and I trusted him with it. So Ivy was my first big move. Then I went back on the ground, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I needed Luis's help during this tribe swap where I had to lay low, and I had to actually follow his moves now because I was in a situation where I was on a tribe with a whole bunch of people that I didn't know, but a whole bunch of people that I felt like knew that I was a target and wanted me out because they knew I was close to Riley and Mark and them. So I had to lay low during those 2 rounds, and I had to play my cards correctly to get through the pre-merge of that section of the game. And then I waited for my next moment to strike, which came around Live Night. I actually got 2 big moves from Live Night. The first one, I won the challenge, and I became a captain. And with Mark's help, we pulled together and we worked really well during that night. we managed to build two tribes where we can both do whatever we want to do on the tribe. I knew I wanted to get Connor out of the game because with Luis's help, I learned that Connor had an idol in the game. So I wanted to blindside Connor. And the reason why Connor the only way I can figure out how to blindside Connor is to make him feel safe. So what I did is, as far as captains go, and Mark can attest to this, I came up with this idea. I wanted Luis and John on my tribe. The reason why I wanted them on my tribe is because I learned information from Luis that Luis, John, Joel, and Robbie and Connor were all in an alliance. So Connor would feel safe with Luis. He would feel safe with John on his tribe. He would think he had the majority. So I made sure they were on my tribe. I put Nate on there just for that extra vote. And we blindsided Connor. Again, another move I couldn't have done with other people, but was something that I came up with first. And it was something that we pulled off together. And then right after that was my next big move, Nate. Now, why I regret the way I went about the Nate vote, I don't regret the move itself. Nate had to go, 100% had to go. He was a strategic mastermind. He's a great player, one of the best players in the Aura communities I've ever seen anywhere. And I knew the move had to be made. What I regret about that move is that because it was live night, within the last 30 seconds heading up to Tribal Council, that was when I figured out the move was going to happen. Because I brought Luis, Robbie, and John. I brought them all on call really fast. All three of them can attest to that. I literally got them on call. I begged them and told them, like, okay, this move has to happen. We have to do it. The other side is splitting their vote. Let's do it right now. And it literally happened within 30 seconds. We voted out Nate. The reason why I regret the way I went about it, though, is because it hurt my relationship with Victoria, hurt my relationship with Riley, hurt my relationship with Mark, all three people I felt really good about. So while the move had to be made, I do regret that I made a mistake, obviously, the way I handled it. Social game, I'll brush this up real quick so I can hurry up and wrap this up. My social game, I know has flaws. Everybody's games has flaws, but I feel like my social game is kind of where I kind of suffered a little bit because I know I've had issues trying to build a relationship with you, John, with you, Austin. I'm sorry. I never actually built a strong enough relationship with you guys, and I apologize for that. I tried my best. It's just so much going on in my life and the game itself. There was just a lot happening. Jacob, I want to apologize about the round you went home because I know you were upset that I didn't get to talk to you. Straight up, this is the honest truth. I worked that entire day. And the moments I did have time to talk, I found out that you were already targeting me. So the moments I had to be able to talk while I was at work had to be with the people that were going to keep me safe since you were already targeting me. But my social game itself, what I accomplished with my social game, I'm the only one in the final three right now that can actually say that I knew what every single vote was going to be. I knew every single outcome. I knew every single thing was going to happen. I knew every single idol play that was going to happen, all of that. Victoria told me about Austin getting idled out. So I knew about that. Luis told me about the Jacob and the Zach blind side. So I knew about that. Neither one of them can say the same thing. And that's kind of where I bring up my social game is that I actually knew everything. The last thing I want to talk about. So this is up until now, like I said, up until the final five, I felt like my game got me here. My social connections, my strategic gameplay, everything I did got me to the final five. This is where I really, really felt like I did make a tremendous mistake, and I feel like shit about what I did. So, and I feel like I need to get this off my chest because if you guys do end up voting for me, you guys deserve to know what I did and how I played, and hopefully it doesn't hurt my game. But final five, so everyone knows that I've been close to Riley. Me and Riley are best friends. I hope we will be after this. We were best friends before this. And coming into this game, he was the one person I felt like I could talk to about everything. 100%. I can just tell him anything I want to tell him because he is my best friend and I thought he would never vote me out of this game. I was even on call the night before Final Five Tribal Council telling Mark that I would never vote for Riley. Riley would never vote for me. And Mark's like, you're 100% going. I'm like, I don't think so. Riley's someone who would never do that to me, would hurt me. And then I found out he was going to vote me out. I was gutted. I felt like I had a dagger stabbed into my heart because I do play these games with hearts on my sleeves, and it destroyed me. It made me feel so bad, and I felt so like shit, and I could not believe it, and I got emotional. I said things I shouldn't have said. Riley, I hope one day you will be able to forgive me for this. I don't want your vote tonight. You're the only one I'm not campaigning to try to get a vote from tonight because I don't deserve your vote. I just want our friendship to continue after this game's over. I just want us to be friends. I hope you can forgive me for the way I reacted at Final Five, because I shouldn't have reacted that way. And I'm so sorry. Final Four, I'm not going to apologize too much for that, because you know the whole issue with Final Four. You know what happened with that situation. I tried telling you about it, and I told you that, I told you I would give you individual immunity if I won, and we would vote out Victoria. No offense, Victoria. And then you went around to Luis, and you told Luis that when I give you individual immunity, you would vote me out, which gutted me again. But Final Five, I should not have done what I did to you. I am so sorry, so very sorry, and I hope you forgive me. Everybody else, I do want to try to campaign for your votes, because I do feel like game-wise I played a really good game. Yeah, I made mistakes. I made huge mistakes. I have huge flaws in my game, but I feel like I played the best I possibly could with the cards that were dealt to me. And yeah, ask questions. There's a lot about my game I didn't really brush up on, but this is already taking a long time. So good luck, everybody.
Wow, with 7 seconds to spare. So next is Victoria. You have 10 minutes starting now.
Okay, I'm nervous. So first I just want to say thank you to production for putting this crazy game together and putting up with our messy asses. Thank you to everyone in the game for allowing me to be here and giving me this opportunity. Congrats to Ruben and Luis for making it to the end. Anyway, so my goal tonight is to prove to everyone that I played the best game. I deserve the win. My game is the true definition of the underdog arc. Like, there were very scarce times whenever I didn't have to worry about being the vote. I had to work my ass off to ensure that the vote was going to be someone else and not me. Also, I want to address an issue that I know will be brought up tonight, because the juror made it known this season that he had an issue with it. And I know he's going to attack my social game. So me and this said person, we were on opposite sides of the game. So I'm sorry, but you were not my top priority. But like, you have every right to feel that my social game is bad. However, like I said, you weren't my top priority, and I was just like busy conspiring and making plans that you weren't in. You just like weren't relevant to my game enough for me to keep a conversation going with you every day. So I do apologize. Like, I do love you as a person. I love your dog updates on Instagram and Facebook, yada yada yada. But like, at the same time, my logic behind not having my hands in everyone's cookie jar was to reduce the amount of lies that I had to tell people, because if you know me, I hate lying. I hate being lied to, and like, I will hold that against you for a very long time. I don't know if that's the girl in me or not, but whatever. I just wanted to keep my game clean as possible. And like, I didn't want people to, if you talk to everyone, they twist your words and then they assume stuff, and it's just a big mess. That's my logic behind it anyway. So, one of the differences between my game and Luis and Ruben's game is that I actually stayed loyal to my allies. I was even loyal to both of you guys until you flipped and lied to me. But it's part of the game. I'm just a loyal person. Like, I don't think you guys can say that you were 100% loyal to someone the whole game. I can, and just like you guys did to me, like whenever I wasn't valuable, I couldn't do anything for you. It's whenever you would flip on me and other people, and I just value loyalty and trust, and maybe it's just the girl in me. Okay, so that leads me to my next and my last point. I feel like I should address due to the recent events that have happened, just want to make something known. Another difference between my game and y'all's game is that not once did I use outside friendships and emotions as a bargaining tool for a vote, a game move, nothing. I didn't rage quit chats because I wasn't getting my way. I use pure professionalism. But anyways, best of luck to both of you. I have a lot more to say, so like I'm excited / nervous to hear everyone's questions. Please don't roast me too hard because I have a lot of feelings and I'm sensitive. So anyway, good luck. Best.
Okay. So last but not least, Louise, you have 10 minutes starting now.
Okay, hey guys. So wow, this game has been so fucking insane. I need a prescription of Xanax after this entire whole mess of a game. But no, I just want to talk about the first night when I first saw the cast release. I was like, fuck, I don't know a lot of people here. I was like, shit. If there's a swap, I'm screwed. I was like, I'm gonna like, I don't know anybody. So I knew, I was like, Luis, calm down. You know, get yourself together. What you have to do in this game is you have to be very social. You have to gain these people's trust and you have to become friends with them. So that's exactly what I did. But I'll get on to that later. Right now, I'm going to talk about when we were introduced to our first tribe. I saw Andrew there, which I was happy. That was somebody I did know. Instantly, we talked and we were like, let's work together. He made a final two with me right away. I was not going to turn it down, obviously. And when I saw Ruben, my world came crashing down. I was like, shit. I just threw some shade at Deception in my intro video. And of course, I would have Ruben on my tribe. But then I was like, Luis, don't stress it too hard because this could be a good thing. Because coming in, Ruben had a lot of connections coming into the game with the people that were in the cast. And he's hosted a lot of people in this cast. So he has had a host perspective on people's game. Like he knows how people play. That's how he got me. He said, hey, I want to work with you because you were loyal to Dina and John in your season. And I was like, awesome. I wanted to work with him more than anything because I would gain from those advantages. I know he says that it was a disadvantage because he was a winner, but he had more advantages than disadvantages. So I was happy that Ruben wanted to work together. I was excited. I was like, let's do this because I know he was a threat. I was like, I can use that as a shield. I was like, let's do this. So obviously, I was like, well, Ruben, I can bring in Andrew. We started a 3-way group. Obviously, you need more numbers. So we added Jacob. We were called the 4 Horsemen. Every time we had our way when we would win challenges. Thank God we would win challenges because we would get the advantages of going to the cavern and getting keys. And every time, just how Ruben had the connection with Mark, he would tell Mark to vote a certain way. I could tell Andrew to vote a certain way. And me and Ruben mostly got a lot of the keys in just because they would vote for us, either or. And that was a great thing. So I'm not going to talk too much about that because that was obviously, we didn't lose. When we did lose, it was an easy vote. We knew who we were voting out. She wasn't active. I'm going to talk about the second phase of the game. That was the swap that happened after the 5 rounds. I think that's important in my game because that's where I met Joe and Robbie. I have a lot to be grateful for them because they helped me get here tonight. So when I was like, yes, I'm happy. Like I know a lot of these people. I've heard of them. I started chatting with everybody. Groups just started falling left and right. I had a group with Zach, Joel. I had a group with Dina, Don, Dina, Robbie, Nate, Dina, me. So that was my strategy. I didn't want to come in. That's when we had the tribes of 10. I didn't want to come in and have a big old tribe like alliance, because we all know how that turns out, and I did not want that coming in. So I was happy with these little small groups. And yeah, I knew I already had a target because Bartlett had more people on their original tribe. And I was like, shit. But the good thing was Andrew was a crazy mess. Andrew's intro video, he legit started calling people out in this game. And I knew he was going to be an easy target. So Andrew would be the first target. The good thing is everybody started comparing notes and everybody found out how Simon was trying to make all these big group alliances. So they found out how shady he really was. And during that time, I got to talk to Joe and Robbie and form a relationship with them. And I was happy about that just because they trusted me a lot. Joe trusted me a lot. During that whole Simon thing, I would talk to Joe and I'd be like, hey, what's going on? He would tell me certain things. And to confirm it, I would wait for Robbie to tell me and Dina. So I know everything they were telling me was true. So I like that. And yeah, moving on, we did pretty good. And then the Annihilation round happened, and yikes, that was scary. I was so scared of that. But the good thing was I could sit back and breathe, because the relationships I had with Joe and Robbie, they told me who their people, like from their original tribes, were voting. Dina told me where this people were voting. Ruben told me where certain people were voting. Riley told me where certain people were voting. I was nowhere in danger during that, so I was like, I can just chill. But it doesn't mean I wasn't paranoid. I was still freaking out. I was like, what if 3 people magically vote for me? So I was chilling. Yes, Ruben is right. Ivy was presented to me. I was happy to do it just because I knew too, just from seeing Ivy, I knew she was connected with a lot of people. I knew she was connected with Zach. I knew she had a thing with Nate. I knew she had a lot of things with a lot of people. So I was happy to do that. I was happy to vote her. And I kept that a secret for a very long time until Nate confronted me about it. And I told him, but yeah, no, we moved on. And just like, I bet you a lot of people in the jury says that I followed Ruben's game, that I just followed him. But as you just heard in his speech, he said he followed me a certain part of the game. And that is true, because when we were on a tribe, I was like, fuck, I don't want Ruben to go. And Joe and Robbie were targeting him and Stephanie, but they wanted Stephanie gone and then they wanted Ruben gone. And I was like, I cannot let my shield go. I was like, no, he cannot go. So I was talking to them. I convinced them to let's do Stephanie first and then let's do Ruben. And then Amanda, I get on call with her, and thank God, Amanda just spills so much tea. She tells me that we need to watch out for Robbie and Austin because they're super close. She said that Joe's a flip-flopper. She said you need to watch for that. And I immediately run and go tell Joe and Robbie. And I'm like, she's coming for y'all. She's specifically more coming for you, Robbie. So that kind of put the target on Amanda, and then it was Stephanie, because Stephanie was along with it. So I bought Ruben 2 rounds right there. That's why he can thank me for making it this far. And yeah, so I was happy. I was happy that happened. Sorry, Amanda didn't work out, but I trusted Joe and Robbie more. And yeah, coming into this game, I formed in that phase, I formed a relationship with Austin. I formed a relationship with Connor, and that's where we became the inner circle. And let me tell y'all this now. I wanted to go to the Final 4 with you guys, or Final 5 with you guys. I was wanted to be loyal to that. But I lost. Okay, so I was loyal to that group, but then I lost trust when I found out. Well, no, I guess inner circle got fucked by touchy subjects. That's what really fucked the inner circle, because I had people after that challenge, like Austin, coming to me like, hey, it's kind of interesting, Robbie's a threat now. And I'm like, yeah. And then Joe was telling me, hey, eventually we're going to have to cut Robbie final 7 because he's a threat in this game. I mean, look at touchy subjects. And I was like, oh my God, this alliance is falling apart. So I was like, I didn't know. I was like, shit, I need to jump. And I was like, well, let's just wait and see what happens. But then when John was supposed to go, Robbie tells us that he helped John get an idol. And I was kind of hurt by that. I was relying on those keys to like help the four of us going into the merge. And I was kind of hurt he didn't really talk to us. And then I found out he talked to Joe prior, before that. So it kind of showed who he was like kind of like loyal to mostly, I guess. So it kind of hurt me. So that's when I knew. I was like, nah, this isn't going to work. I need to like jump. And that's what I did. I found out that, you know, Connor got the idol. And I will say this, like, when that was all going on, me and Nate were having conversations. And I even went to Ruben and Mark. We were like, we need to do something. That's where I like told Mark and Ruben, Connor has an idol and he needs to go. And so that's why, like, Ruben, you can't take too much credit for that, just because I do agree you were tribe captains and you did separate the tribes, but I can take credit for Connor's going, because if I had never said anything about his idol, he wouldn't have, it would have been Joel and Robbie going. So yeah, that's why. Oh shit, 10 minutes goes by fast. Okay. Yeah, so that's the only reason I turned on the inner circle. I'm sorry for lying to you guys. Hopefully we can chat more when you come in here with your questions. Fuck, that takes too time.
So I didn't want to talk about my whole game, and it still took me 10 minutes.
Damn, I thought 10 minutes would take long.
Tyler, while I'm like wrangling up some jurors, do you want to explain how this is going to go?
Yes. Okay, so we were supposed to have all 10 come tonight. 2 people, unfortunately, will not be here tonight, so we have 8 jurors tonight. So one at a time, they will come in, give statements, questions. They'll have 10 minutes at the most if they want to use it. So, yeah, they'll just be coming in randomly one at a time. So just wait, as the first one will be coming in.
Okay, and introducing our first juror tonight, a person we all know and love.
I wouldn't say everybody loves me, but it's me. Hi guys. Hi Luis. I can't say that I miss going on call with you about 15 times a day, give or take. But I miss laughing at everything comes out your fucking mouth. I honestly can't believe that who might win this is still up for contention, considering that, you know, one person was barely here half the game from what I've heard. The other person's basically a borderline sociopath. I just think people are on the jury really bitter about your gameplay, Luis, and I really hope that you can be really forthright in the answers that you give to the people. I do want to clarify one thing that you said in your speech there really quickly, because it's completely wrong, because you brought it up to me about getting out Robbie and Joel. I didn't bring it up to you. You brought me on call and you need to take out Robbie and Joel, and you asked me if I'd be down for it, and I said, yeah, because I'm not going to play this game with a bunch of threats and then get to the end and look stupid. So I just want you to own up to that, because that was totally all you're doing, putting that bird in my ear right before I got idled out. From that, I really don't have much to say. I know we're running like super late because we started like 45 minutes behind schedule. But just a little bit of coaching. I just really want you to answer the questions as best as possible, because Luis, I really think you are the one to deserve to win this. Other than that, thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you.
All right, next juror is on deck.
Okay. Give me a second. That was brief. Okay, give me a second to get our next juror in here.
Guess I'm the sociopath.
I guess I wasn't here half the game. So.
No, I'm the sociopath. He was talking about me.
I doubt that.
I think you were the one that wasn't around because you weren't around with him. So I think that's what he referred that to you. Because you didn't ever talk to him.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I talked to him. I
thought you just said in your speech that you didn't.
I didn't talk to him as much as I wanted to.
Well, then you weren't around.
I talked to him until he tried to fight me in the main chat.
Yeah, I did like, but see, when we had that call with Austin, he, you know, I did bring it up, but he brought it up too. But I think we were both scared to bring up Robbie and Joe's name. So I guess I can correct myself. Sorry, I suck at speeches, y'all. I wonder what two jurors aren't here.
God.
Hey, Connor.
Hello.
Hey.
Am I on? I can't hear.
Sorry, Connor, you have 10 minutes starting now.
Okay, so is this working? I've never even used this app. I don't even know what this is. Oh, hi. Okay, so first off, I just want to say that like I'm going into this understanding that this is a game and understanding that I got played. I want to first congratulate both Ruben and Luis because on that live night round, you both played me and you played me damn well. So my hat's off. My hat's off to you both. You both slayed that. Like I give credit where credit is due. I 100% respect that. That was terrific on both of you. So I can confirm my vote was 100% is going to be on one of you tonight. Victoria, I'm just surprised you showed up. So hey, nice to see your face for once. So Luis, so I am kind of 50-50 with this vote between you and Ruben because on one hand, Luis, I was on more tribes with you. I did kind of see more of you in Osen. I was only on tribe with Ruben until after like the second swap. But with Ruben, like I feel like your game had a more just I don't know, it's hard to explain, but something about your game is just really, really like drawing me to want to vote for it. Your game really like you should not have made it past that second swap. Like I understand, you know, Luis takes that credit for that too. But like it's just crazy. So I just want to say like
he's like
my bad. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on, is he like
Luis, I think you're lagging. No.
Okay, I can hear you now, Connor. I'm sorry. Can you repeat all that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't even know what I was saying, but I'll try. I just want to say, so my vote is 100% on either to go to you, Luis, or you, Ruben. I haven't decided which one. I'm still like thinking about it. Don't know. Because I can see myself right now voting for either one of you. I don't know which one I'm going to vote for. Like, I sincerely like it's going to be one of you two. But it's just like, but goes back and forth. Because on one hand, Luis, I saw a lot of, like, I saw more of your game because I'm more of your tribe, and I saw more of it. But on the other hand, Ruben's game, I think, really says a lot. But also, Luis is saying that, like, oh yeah, the reason Ruben did all this stuff was me. So it's really, really tough. I just want to give a moment for you to just like say whatever you have to say. Like Luis, tell me why you have my vote, why you should have my vote over Ruben, and Ruben do the same. I'm just like 50-50 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go first. Connor, obviously you knew we were an alliance, and like I was down with that alliance. I said when touchy subjects happened and Robbie and Joe were getting looked at, and everybody was like after them and talking about them, which that didn't really bother me there. What bothered me, like I said, was when Robbie helped John get he didn't tell us. I don't know when he made the announcement we were on call. I was like, damn, he didn't like consult with us. So that's where I was kind of like, I saw who he was close to. And also Robbie would talk really good about you. So I knew that there was probably like a connection right there that scared me because me and you, like, we were in an alliance, but we really didn't chat much. So I was like, going down the line, I was like, he could easily turn on me just like that. When the time came, I did trust you, obviously. But no, you wouldn't have been targeted live night if it wasn't for me. I know as a Survivor fan, you'd like respect game. it would have been Joel and Robbie. But I told Ruben, I told Mark, I told Nate, I told Riley that you had the idol and that you needed to go because you could use that idol and it could fuck up one of their games. And I convinced them that you were needed to be one of the people to go. So when we even had a chat at Live Night, me, you, and John, I told myself that I had to make you very comfortable, like that you had no idea that this was going to happen, because Live Night makes everybody paranoid. And I was scared if you got paranoid, you would play that idol and then my game would just be ruined and my cards would be shown. So yeah, that, like, I guess I'm here to blame. I'm sorry for doing that. Like I said, I really did like the inner circle, but the inner circle was crashing down, going towards it was going down because, like I said, people started doubting each other and like it was scary. So I decided to be the first one to make a move, and it worked. I guess it worked good for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna go next. So honestly, whether Luis told me about your idol or not, I still probably would have done the exact same thing. The reason being is because I actually had a really good relationship with Joe. I eventually had a good relationship with Robbie. And Joe, everybody knows this. I told so many people this. I wanted to keep threats around for as long as possible. And don't take this personal, but Robbie was a way superior threat than a lot of people in this game. Joe was a way superior threat than a lot of people in this game. That isn't a knock on you. It's just kind of upping their ante. So Luis can take credit for you going home, but the fact of the matter is I was the one that won the captain challenge. I was the one that made sure with the information that was given to me, I was the one that made sure that Luis and John were on our tribe to make sure that you would get blindsided so that you would feel safe. I had immunity, so I knew you wouldn't be voted for me. I knew you would be voted for Nate. So I needed you to believe that you were going to be safe. So Nate didn't go home that round because you were a bigger threat in my game. Honestly, I think if Luis was smart, he should have went to the finals with you. I think Luis, again, he wants to take credit about how he was worried about you, but I think you were smart enough to know that Robbie and Joe were threats, and you probably wouldn't have sat next to them because they would have beat you. And I don't think Luis gives you enough credit for how smart of a player you are because, again, you're smart enough to recognize who can win this game. And that is kind of like the flaw in Luis's decision to blindside you. Whereas it was strategic from my point of view because I needed threats around to cover myself. I mean, I'm a previous winner. And Luis brought up in the opening statement how like I hosted people. I don't know how many hosts are in the jury right now, John, Zach, but you can go ahead and ask every single one of them. These guys know that whenever you host someone, that puts a bigger target on your back. It does not give you an advantage. It gives you a disadvantage. And that's exactly why I needed threats around. So that's, like I say, I think you played a great game. I think you had a chance at winning as long as you were sitting next to the right people. And I think Joe and Robbie, you recognized that they weren't the right people, that they would have beat you. And they would have beat me too, probably.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that. Oh, go ahead.
Can I say that's thoughts. Like, that's the reason why I wanted you to go with, because I knew that you were smarter than what people were saying that you were. I'm not going to lie to you. People were saying that you were an easy goat to take, but I knew that, like, just like talking to you and just to say such stuff you would say in the Alliance chat, I knew that you were really smart. You were silent, but deadly. And another thing, like, what Ruben said was, you say there was a lot of hosts in this game, but we were in a tribe. So I said I wanted to work with you because we were on a tribe. I said that I wanted to work with you because you had that hosting like perspective.
But you also said it was an advantage. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
it was an advantage. It was not. You can ask Zach. You can ask a lot of people. It's not advantage.
It was an advantage
because you know about people's game and they know that.
Because it's easy to form alliances when people know you from like hosting them and stuff. And you knew, and also like everybody knows, Connor, you know this, going up into the merge, that deception click, that deception click. That's who Ruben had to rely on. He relied on pre-existing relationships. That's why he's still in the game. And in the second, like the first swap, he got lucky. Like that was Deception Central. So
okay, well, let me put it this way: there's maybe three people on this entire cast that hasn't played Deception. So I don't know what the Deception click you're talking about is, but that's not necessarily. I'm just saying there was only one person I had a previous relationship with that I would have never turned on, that I had a good connection with, and that was Riley, 100%. Everybody else, I had no strong relationship with. You can talk to every single one of the jury members that are apparently a part of this deception clique. I did not use my personal relationship with them. I don't have a personal relationship with them.
You were like, you relied on those relationships. The first part of the merge, you weren't there. You wouldn't talk or anything.
What do you rely on? Like, I built, me and Mark has never talked outside of playing, like hosting him. So I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you talking about on that tribe? Andrew's never played Deception. Jacob's never played Deception.
Okay, but you tried.
Ashley's never played Deception.
You tried to get me to flip on Joel and Robbie, and I told you no because you wanted to stick with your side. I told you no, that I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't ever flip on them.
When did I get you to try to flip on them? Which round?
You don't remember when you like Joel and you don't remember when you said Joel and Robbie are big threats and we need to vote them out? And I was like, no, it's
I specifically told you, and I told everybody in the game I wanted them around longer because they're big threats.
No,
so I don't know.
That was your excuse.
Tell me what round. Tell me exactly what round that was, because I don't remember that.
That was the round when touchy subjects happened because Riley was down to vote them too.
That's not true at all. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Can I just wrap it up? I don't know how much time I have.
Yeah, I was about to say the timer actually just ran out. So, Connor, if you want to give some final thoughts, you can.
Final thought. Well, like, I just want to say, Ruben, you are 100% right about what you were saying about me and like knowing about Joel and Robbie, how threatening they were, because I did say at one point, one of my confessions, that the idol I had would be used to get one of them out. So you are right about that. Like, I may have been loyal to them, but I definitely, my eyes are open and my ears are always open. So, but thank you guys. Good luck out.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have your next juror already here. It's Jacob, bitch. Okay, you have 10 minutes starting now.
I'm back. The game is less ugly. I know. So I have planned virtually nothing. Fitting as you guys haven't really given me the time, and I probably won't give you time of day for this jury speech. I won't take up the full 10 minutes unless we start bickering again. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But congratulations to the final three. I do have to say, it is well-deserved, but not too well-deserved. Don't think you worked too hard, because all of you were advantaged in some way with pre-existing relationships. It's an all-stars game. You know, I knew approximately 6 people in this cast and have heard of virtually nobody else. And here we have hosts who have seen everybody and know how everyone played. But that's not how I'm basing my vote tonight. I'm just going to vote for who I think played a decent game. Oh God, what the fuck did I want to say? I'm not going to drag anybody. I think the ultimate dragage is saying nothing and just letting the silence speak for itself. I want to give all 3 of you a fair chance, so I will be asking each of you the same question. And for me, I love vulnerability. If I can fucking pronounce the word vulnerability, I can't do it. Vulnerability. Oh God. I like seeing that in players. So my question to each of you will go in alphabetical order. So Luis, yes, you're first. If you put 2 and 2 together, L becomes, it's before R and V. My question is, oh my God, what's my fucking question? I'm so fucking tired. I just want to go to bed. My question is, oh my God, this is a mess. I'm gonna leave and come back. My question to each of you is, what was your biggest flaw in the game? If you overcame it, feel free to elaborate on that. If you didn't, feel free to elaborate on that. What was your biggest flaw in the game and why? And Luis, you can start, and then I'll go to Ruben and then Victoria.
I think my biggest flaw, I guess the biggest regret that I have, that's a regret, right? The biggest regret, biggest flaw. The biggest regret is that, like I said, I owe a lot to Robbie in this game. And when it was his time to go, I should have been honest. I should have told him, hey, sis, you're leaving tonight. But I didn't do it just because I didn't want to stick my neck out too far. I didn't want to ruin my game. But I can tell him I tried all that afternoon. I tried to convince Riley to, vote to keep him. but it was not going to happen. And I didn't want to, and I was already pissing Riley off. He was like, if you keep asking me, I'm going to write your name down, which hopefully I hope he was lying, but I just didn't want to keep badgering him like, hey, please keep Robbie. And I should have been more honest with him. I should have been more honest with a lot of people that I voted out. That's one thing I regret. Like, I should have been like truth. Like, I should have been like, again, and not lying. But in this game, I'm damaged good ton. And in these games, I always get fucked by my number one. And I was scared that was going to happen to me. So I made sure I had final twos with a lot of people. So just because I was scared I was going to get hurt, and I needed to make sure they had my back over anybody else's.
All right, thank you. Ruben.
Yeah, I said in my opening speech, the biggest flaw in my game is that I let emotions get the best of me. I feel awful about this, and I hope, like I said, I hope one day he does forgive me for what I did at Final Five. And if emotions is the reason why I lose, I understand. Like, I said some things, I did some things I regret that I shouldn't have said. And I'm specifically referring to Final Five, kind of Final Four. Riley's my best friend coming into this game. He knows that. He knows he was my best friend coming in this game. That's why I told him everything. It's why I trusted him with every bit of information in this game. And whenever he told me that he was voting me out, I couldn't believe it. I know people like to say that I had a whole bunch of relationships. I hosted them. That doesn't mean I have a relationship with them. Riley was the only person I had a 100% relationship with. And when he told me he was voting for me, it gutted me. I literally got emotional. You can ask Riley. I cried to him on call. Like, I was so much of a wreck, and I'm so embarrassed for myself because it's a game, but I couldn't help it. It's like your best friend just punching you in the face out of nowhere. You're going to get angry. You're going to get upset. You're going to say a lot of stuff that you don't mean and you shouldn't say, but you say it anyways. And I hurt Riley in a way that I would never be able to. And I feel so awful what I did for him. And Riley, again, I hope you forgive me for that. Even Final Four, when I voted for him, I didn't want to. He knows I didn't want to, 100%. He just didn't want to vote for Victoria, and he tried to use some stuff against me to vote me out later. But, right, like, yeah.
All right, thank you. And Victoria?
Well, I only have two that I can think of right now. I'll point out the obvious, since Connor, I thought it was very rude for him to do that, not even to hear me out. So in these games, like, my social game is not like everyone else's. I don't have talks with people every single day about the weather, about what I do for a living. Like, I like to have like more meaningful conversations. Is like quality over quantity. Like, I feel like you can be closer to someone if you have more deep conversations or whatever. And it's just that Connor, like, I didn't see him as an asset to my game. Like, talking to him, no offense, but like talking to him was like talking to a cardboard box. He couldn't win challenges. It was just nothing that, like, and I didn't want to be fake to him. Like, I didn't want to, mislead him and take him along as a goat. Like, I treat my allies as 50-50. Like, I don't see them as any less than me. I don't use them for votes. I don't, like, that's why I'm, so loyal, whatever. And like, same goes with John and whoever. Like, I only, like, there was reasons for the things that I did. Like, I don't know, like, I'm really bad at being fake. So, and there's some people like you, Jacob, like, you, in my perspective in orgs, like, you're pretty well known. So it was my flaw that assumed that you already had made connections with people, and like, I thought I was going to be too late. But then we did start talking, and I just, like, I love the fuck out of you because you're so funny. So I do regret not talking to you more, though. I really missed out on that. And then my second one, like, even though it's probably better for my game that I did what I did, it just, like, I don't know. I like to play with my heart over my brain, but I regret voting out Riley at Final Four because watching that just completely broke my heart. Like, just everything about it. It was just, if I could do it again, I would make him and Ruben go to fire because I felt like that would have been the more thing to do. I felt like I was following Luis's lead because I was vulnerable. I didn't think I would have had a chance to make it through because those three were so tight. So Luis called me and I went with it. I didn't realize like how personal it was. Like I knew it was personal to an extent, but I didn't realize it was that personal, I guess because I didn't know behind the scenes. And I almost like feel manipulated by it, but like I mean like I just at the time I felt like I had to do that. But that's all I can think of right now.
All
Thank you
right.
for letting me talk, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Asking me questions.
To all the other jurors, don't take anyone like out of like contention. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just consider all of your options because I mean, like, someone's gonna win 100 coins. You know what I mean? Like, this is real money.
And Jake,
Yeah, of course. Last. Oh yeah, what? What's up?
I'm lagging like hell. This is so fucking freaking. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, like, like you said that people always left you on quiet and everything, and I'm sorry that I did that. It's just like we had the same personality, so I think we could have had fun like in this game. It's just the reason I kind of like didn't trust you is because Simon did say that you told him that all the OG Barlet was an alliance and that you fell at the bottom of it and he spreaded that around. So that's why I was kind of iffy about you, but I did enjoy personally getting to know you and everything. I want to say that.
Oh no, yeah, of course. All right. Thanks guys. I appreciate it. I don't know what else to say. I'm iconic. I'm so happy to be here. I'll see you bitches for third chances. All right, good luck. I don't know how to fucking leave this shit. Oh, I see it.
Okay.
I can't even like.
We have our next juror here, the always wonderful Jonathan Marmo.
Hey.
You have 10 minutes
Hey.
starting now.
Okay, rule number 1, Luis, you're not speaking during this segment at all. Like, not a single word. Just don't even do it. Not even a single minute. Don't do it. You're lagging. Keep it like that for now. Okay. Victoria, we have not spoken since August 6th. Even the fact that you stopped sending Snapchats on a friend level is kind of like, that's questionable. So I'm going to just leave it at that. But I'm really going to focus on Ruben because, like, obviously we know Victoria didn't play the game. You did. So I'm just going to ask you questions. Where's my sticky notes? Okay. So I think my major question here is, which is the jury really isn't talking about this, but what is one move that you made without Luis's help?
Without Lucy's help,
Yes.
I'll be fully honest. I mean, there was a moments where I wasn't on a try with Luis, obviously. But for the most part, like I needed someone I had to trust that I actually had to reach out to. Again, like I reach out to everybody about making the moves. And a lot of the moves that I did do with Luis, I was the one that came up with. But I let Austin go. I knew Luis didn't know Austin was getting idled out. I could have easily told Luis. I knew that they had enough keys to get into idle. They could have easily done something about it, but I decided to keep it to myself because I wanted Austin gone. Because me and him didn't have a personal relationship. I didn't vote Austin, but I knew Mark was getting idle. I voted Mark, but I wanted to keep my relationship with Mark and his crew. So I definitely, obviously, went ahead and voted Mark, but I 100% knew Austin was going, and I kept that on the down low. So other than that, there's stuff that was like on my tribe without Luis. But again, like I needed someone I could trust, and Luis had proven himself to me. So there's no reason for me not to include him on my plans. It would be dumb not to. But if that's what the jury's looking for, then I don't blame them. They don't want to vote for me because, again, like, you need that number one. You need that one person that you can count on to vote with you, to always trust that they can actually be there for you when you need them to be.
Okay. So then, unlike the subject of like having connections and whatnot, I mean, everybody knows we heard the end from Riley and we heard your end as well. But like, you literally used your friendship as a card to get Riley to not vote for you. And he idled you, and then you just sent him home. And you feel really bad about that. Obviously, anybody would. But do you think if you had not played that friendship card like so coldly that you would even like be as far as you did, or no?
No, 100%. I wouldn't be here. 100%. Like, and I didn't want, like, John, you know how these games are. You know how it is whenever someone stabs you, someone that you think would never stab you, never hurt you, never affect you at all. And whenever there's on a 30-person cast, when there's one person that you can point and be like, all right, that guy will never do anything to me. He's my best friend coming into this. He would never do anything to you. And then out of nowhere, he says he's going to do that to you. He's going to cut you. He wants to take you out of the game. You get emotional. You say things you don't mean. I shouldn't have said those things. Would I have followed through with it? Probably not. Like a couple of days, I would have got over it. But I was emotional. I was a wreck. I was crying. I was devastated. I was so upset that I said things that I shouldn't have. And again, like, if that cost me the win, that cost me the win. I deserve that. And I already told Riley, I don't want him voting for me tonight. Like, I don't want any kind of pity from him, because like, it was god awful what I did. As for voting him out, I did not want to vote him out at Final Four. I even told him my specific conversation with Riley, and he can attest to this. I told him that if I win individual immunity, I'm giving it to you, and I will go to a fire-making challenge against Victoria. That's specifically exactly what I told Riley. Then he goes over to Luis, and he tells Luis that when I give him individual immunity, he's going to vote me out. That was exactly what Riley said. And then on top of that, he also was plotting to get me out. But even after I learned all that, at Tribal Council, I messaged Riley. I'm like, hey, do not vote. This is what's happening. This is what I'm trying to prevent. Like, we can vote for Victoria. And he just like shut it down and wouldn't vote for Victoria. And like, I was literally left with no other option. Because again, like, I didn't want to sit next. No offense to Victoria. I didn't want to sit next to her. I wanted to sit next to Luis because he's had my back most of the game, even though he's been doing his own things. And I wanted to sit next to Riley because he is my personal friend, and I am sorry about what I did to him at Final Five. But I would not have ever voted him for Final Four. That would not have happened. And yeah, obviously I feel like shit. I feel horrible. I'm a horrible human being. That's fine. And if it costs me the win, then it costs me the win. Like, I just want to make sure my friendship with him stays after this is over.
Okay. So I'm just going to jump out and say that, like, Luis and I have a similar friendship to what you and Riley have. And there were a lot of times in this game where Luis and I were not on the same page, and he blindsided me with moves, and I was pissed, and I knew at some point I was going to get voted, obviously, but still was not pissed and would never have pulled that card with anybody. And I don't think anybody else playing this game would have with their friends. So I think that's really shitty. And I think the only reason why now you're backpedaling is because you realize how detrimental that was to your game, because up until that very moment, everybody was respecting the shit out of your game. Even me, I don't even like you. And we were all down for it. But the minute you pull that card, bullshit, honestly. And comparing it to Luis's game, Luis treated everybody like a new person, even if he had known them before. Like, he lied to everybody equally. He took everybody's information and spread it equally and did it all to his advantage. And he didn't have to rely on no fucking personal shit or anything like that. And I think that's way more respectable. Also, just to point out, because Luis keeps shitting on himself talking, I feel like, Luis, you've always had the information in this game, and Ruben just took it and ran with it. But you guys were always in sync this whole game, and any move that he made, you made. Any move that you made, he made, and he needed you the whole time. That's the way I see it. In my last statement, my last couple minutes, because nobody's bringing this up at all anywhere, Ruben, in your music video, did you find anything wrong with the music video that you recorded at all?
I painted myself blue.
That was not blue to me, sis. That was the
blue.
Closest thing to black I've seen in a while.
That was blue. I can show you. It's
there was
blue.
No way even close. It looked like blackface from a mile away, and everybody not in the jury with eyes.
I can show you the bottle. It's at Razik's and Sean's house. It was literally blue. Like, okay. I would never do anything
the minute
like
I saw
that.
On anybody's kind of face, if I looked in the mirror before recording that video or watched the video before I posted it, I would have been disgusted. Like, complete disgust.
Okay, pull
Even
up right now. I literally
close
wore all
enough.
blue. I wore
And
all
that's
blue,
too
and I
much.
painted myself blue. I
And
painted myself
not even
blue,
a
and I
second
wore
thought
all
about it.
blue.
I don't believe that for a second.
Hold on.
No, that is
some
fucking
John,
bullshit. I would never
Sorry.
do something like that. Oh my god.
I
you
don't
guys are
know.
John,
kidding me.
I
it
think that's some bullshit.
John, it was blue. It was blue,
Luis, I
John.
told you to
It
not
was
talk during
blue,
this
but
segment. Shut up.
that was just too
Don't
much.
even.
It was
That's the
no.
whole.
That's complete nuh-uh. Anybody who watches that and doesn't think blackface right away, awful.
Okay, well
All
then
right.
that's on you.
Good
That
luck.
was.
See you, Victoria. Hopefully we talk again after. Goodbye.
So I don't get to say anything again.
Sorry.
Like, what the
I mean,
fuck?
maybe it's for the best.
Ruben, that was blue. Don't listen to that. That was blue.
That's so...
Okay, you guys.
We're-
So we have
I don't
juror
think
here already. Please welcome Mr. Zach Brown, and you have 10 minutes starting now.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I hope it all is going well because I couldn't really hear shit a little bit ago when John was here. So Luis, I'm going to start with you. One of the things that you told me that you liked about me was that I don't BS people when I play these games. So you then fed me so much shit, I don't know how I didn't throw up this game. So I'm going to keep my honesty policy, and I'm going to let you know I'm not voting for you. So you can just stay quiet for the rest of this. Ruben, my dude, I really wanted to play with you because you seemed really cool, but you just weren't here, you weren't there, it was whatever. You, however, you made me a promise at one point that you were going to give me keys the round that Jacob was idled out. You weren't the only one. You promised it, Mark promised it, and I didn't get any keys that round. So was there ever really an intention to give me keys, or was it just kind of like we're gonna blow smoke up Zach's ass so he shuts up for 15 minutes?
No, 100%. I said I would give you guys all my replica keys, but then the round that Mark was going to go, I also went to Victoria and I told her that I was going to give you guys keys if you needed it to make an idol to idol Mark because I didn't want Mark to go. I wanted Austin to go. I love the idea that when Victoria told me that you guys wanted Austin gone, I was 100% down. So if you guys needed keys specifically to idol Mark to make sure Austin or any one of them went home, I would have gave it to you guys. I remember us talking about the keys. I don't remember you specifically asking that you needed them at that moment. And I even went to Mark. I'm like, hey, do you need keys to idol yourself? I went to all three of you about giving you those keys, and none of you guys told me you needed those keys. But I guess I misunderstood something, so I apologize.
Okay. Cool. So, Miss Victoria, if you could just do me a favor, can you show your hands real quick? Is she lagging? I can't. I haven't seen her move, or is it mine?
She's showing her hands.
Oh, okay. Victoria, you don't have a single spot of blood on those hands. Honey, this was a 30-person game. And you kept your hands clean the whole time. Victoria, I love you to death. I love talking with you. But your hands are so clean. 27 people went home. And you don't have 27, you don't have blood from any of those 27 people. How did you keep your hands so clean?
I mean, I think this kind of ties into I don't pull people in just to use them as numbers. I see my allies as equals. I don't pull them in as numbers so I can cut them later. Like whenever I get close to people, like I truly want to take them to the end. So like I have zero intentions of getting blood on my hands. Like, you know, I'm more than happy to assist in moves because 98% of the time, like moves cannot be done alone. It's not a single person that makes those moves. It's multiple people, and I'm always the multiple person. I have no interest in lying to someone and cutting them. Like it's just not who I am. Maybe it's not good gameplay, but I would rather not do that, you know? Like I like clean hands.
I have blood on my hands, but you don't care. I don't care. You can shove your dirty blood up your ass.
Yeah, Luis, to be honest, let me tell you, the jury really just wants you to shut up, Luis, if I'm going to be real. My vote is going to be between Ruben and Victoria. I keep bouncing back and forth. I don't really have anything else to say. Good luck, guys.
Bye. Fucking bitter. He's just mad he's not in the final three. Sorry. I just hate when.
I like that I have clean hands. I'm sorry. I'm all about hygiene, and you don't have to get your hands dirty. That's what other people are for. To do your dirty work.
I know. I suck at this. Like, I just hope my game speaks loud because I'm just fucking everything up. I suck at
I didn't get to say it earlier, but when John said that August 6th was the last time we talked, that bitch was the one that never replied to me. Why would he think that I would want to talk to him if literally I scrolled up every time he left me on red? And we don't Snapchat either, so he pulled all that out of his ass. Since I can talk now.
I wonder if the two jurors that aren't going to be here.
Can you hear me?
Yep, here is your next juror. It is Joel. And Joel, you have 10 minutes starting now.
Okay, so I'm probably going to be one of the nicer ones tonight, just because that's normally how I am. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to criticize the shit out of your three games. So I'm going to start with Luis. I've got one question for you to start off with. And no talking after it, because that's what you've been doing a lot tonight. Talk. Yes or no, were you a good ally to me?
Was I good ally?
Yes or no? Do you think you were a good ally to me?
Yes.
Right. So I'm going to have to disagree with you because from what I've been told by multiple people, remember when I always told you to keep the information to yourself? I got told by other people that you would immediately tell any sort of information that I told you to other people. For example, when I told you about when I told you to keep certain things, you would tell Nate immediately because when I was talking to Nate, he was like, in the jury, he was like, "Oh yeah, he told me that immediately," and I'm like, "You were supposed to keep that to yourself." And I was very annoyed by that, but that's part of the game. I'm fine with that. That's cool. But that answer was a little bit lacking of self-awareness.
Well,
Ruben, on to you. Ruben, yeah, I was 100% going to vote for you until of the certain situation, and you know it, and we all know it. And you know, there's many things that I respect. I respect a liar. I respect a good fucking liar. I respect somebody who can backstab me, but I don't respect somebody who can threaten relationships and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to be friends with you after the game if this and that." It doesn't matter the intent. Using that as a gameplay tool just shows that there was no other way he was going to make it to the end. So for me, that kind of counts you out of my vote because it's just I just don't see any other way of voting for you because I was gonna I would rather somebody leave with some sort of dignity and respect, and for any relationships immediately wipes any sort of dignity or respect. And I'm sorry, I think you're still a cool person, but for me, it loses my jury vote. Victoria, right now, I think you're actually answering the questions quite well, but I thought just my question to you is to prove to me why, because for me, from my perspective, I might be wrong here. I don't think you've put as much effort as the other three. I mean, in the other two, sorry, it's 4 a.m., 5 a.m., don't judge me. But just prove to me, in short, why you did put as much effort into in the game as them two, because right now I don't fully see it. And that's maybe because we didn't communicate as much.
Fair question. So, you know, in the beginning, me, you, Robbie, and Zach were so close. And back then, I felt super good about my game, because I had you three. And then we swapped. I got separated from you guys. I was an automatic underdog in my new tribe because I came solo and everyone else had people from their tribe on that tribe. So like starting there is whenever I felt like I was struggling, like I had to fight for myself every round to make sure that it wasn't me going at the next tribal. Like I had to you know, like convince people to keep me, even if it was just as a vote, um like and then the annihilation round is I think where it got worse, because when we merged as a game and I reconnected with you guys, and like the three of you would not tell me how you were voting. Not that it was like even important, but it was like that showed me lack of trust. So then I felt even more on the bottom because I just lost my, OG tribe, my forgot what we were called. I can't remember. Like my allies, like I felt like I just lost even more people, so that put me on the bottom even more. So whereas Luis and Ruben were probably on top for most of the game, like they didn't have to do that. They didn't really have to worry about being the next vote out. Like I didn't have as many connections as they did. It was like I almost had to like manipulate people into thinking that it was a good thing to keep me, whereas and throw the vote on someone else, or throw someone else's name, or take a name and run with it once I hear it. So whereas like theirs is more known, like a lot of my game was done as fighting to stay in the game, period. Like whereas I don't know, I feel like they had the luxury of like, I know no one can feel completely safe in these games, but like
Just 1 second, Courtney.
Yeah.
How long do I have left? Because Courtney, Tyler, how long do I have left?
I'm sorry, I'm having a snack. You have 3.5 minutes left.
All right, just wrap it up quickly because Victoria, because I have something extra to say to Louise. But,
Okay. So overall, like to wrap it up, like I feel like their stuff was more known because they had more connections, more people knew of it. Me, it was like a battle, like round by round. Like I had to stay in the game round by round where they felt like they were going to go far. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
No, yeah, I think you answered that really well, honestly. I just want to say something to Louise. Louise, honestly, I'm one of your biggest advocates right now. Oh, shit.
We can still hear you, hon. That way. Is he still there?
Did he just fade into the darkness of his room?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he could hear us. But Joe, you there? Hello?
My thing crashed. I'm sorry. But Louise, I'm your biggest advocate, but you need to stop speaking around in circles. Like you're really fucking yourself up here. Like what? Like Victoria's like convincing me to vote for her, and I was like, Victoria was like on the bottom of my list, like when I first came into it, and now I'm considering voting for Victoria. So please get your things straight because that's your chance of getting your win. Good luck.
I suck at these fucking things.
Who's left? There's Nate, Robbie, Mark. Riley.
2 of them are coming.
Is that all who's left? So we only have 2 more?
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I can get roasted.
I think you're getting it easier than I am. So
Yeah, I'm fucking up. I don't know how to do all
you guys
this.
are fine.
I can't even make it. I just hope my game speaks louder than what I'm speaking right now. Just because I suck at. This is why I don't make finals, because I don't know how to do them. Like,
Practice makes perfect.
yeah. And then I'm lagging, so it's hard. Are we still waiting on someone? Wait, it's not like the beginning, like Courtney and Tyler are talking, right? Okay.
Okay, we have to go a little bit out of order. This was supposed to be the final juror because he's so special in our hearts. But he's going to go now. And his name is Mr. Riley.
Hi. So Bury a Friend was my music video, and I feel like all 3 of you did that to me last round. So, oh, Ruben. Anyway, moving on. So, I'm going to start with Louise. You will not be getting my vote because you're a fake ass bitch, and I don't think you deserve this win at all, personally. Purely because I think you can't say that you did any moves by yourself, unless you want to debate and say that you did a move that was solely yours.
Getting you out was my move.
Oh, congratulations! Final Four was the start of your move. Good job.
Well, you were a big threat in the game, hon.
I know I was a big
so
threat. I was probably beating all of you, to be honest.
Exactly, and that's why you needed to go. That's why you needed to go.
Yeah, cool. So your biggest move was at Final Four. Yeah.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
No, getting you out, getting Amanda out. Hey, it was done. So.
Okay, cool. So you can be quiet. You can be quiet, Louise, now, because if you keep talking over me, then you're just going to lose more jurors to vote for you. Actually, I have one question for all of you. It is, well, Louise just answered it, but Victoria and Ruben, why did you vote me out?
You mean go first?
Yeah.
So I kind of went over this earlier. Going into Final Four with just losing Mark at Final Five, Mark was my only ally. Well, I considered you an ally, Riley, until you used the idol on Ruben, but that whatever. So I felt like Mark was my only person, and I had just left him. So I was there with you, Luis, and Ruben, and knowing you guys are friends, I felt fucked. I felt okay, well, I already know my fate. I'm gonna accept it. So I went to and after all that blow up, I got on call for final. No, it was after you played the idol, so it was after Mark got eliminated. I got on call with Luis, and he made me feel better. He was like, we need to stick together. Obviously, you guys would never vote each other out. You had just played an idol on Ruben, so I was thinking, okay, well, it wouldn't make sense for Ruben to vote you out, so it's going to be either me or Luis. And after seeing Luis get so mad and personal about your idol play, I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm the odd man out. So I knew my fate. But Luis came to me and he's like, there may be a way that we don't go to fire. So literally that whole night that you got voted out was just literally there was no solid plan. It was okay. Plans kept changing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to wrap it up, but
yeah, you're good. Just quickly, please.
Yeah, sorry. The plans just kept changing, and I had I even told Ruben if it came down to it being you or Ruben, I would absolutely vote Ruben out. Absolutely. There was no question about it. He pitched things you played the perfect game, you didn't get votes against you. That concerned me a little bit, but I still was sticking to my guns. I was like, nope, I would definitely vote Ruben out. But then literally 5 minutes before Tribal, Luis calls me. He's like, okay, we have to vote Riley out. And I threw a fit, but I was like, okay, well, I have no choice.
Okay.
It's
yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I think I understood. Okay. So I didn't actually have much prepared coming into this. I did write some notes in. So Ruben, in your opening speech, you claimed the Ivy move. I think you can only claim 50% of that because you and I decided that on call together. And then you spoke to Louise about that. I didn't speak to Louise. Okay, Victoria. So you said you respect people who didn't lie to you. I didn't lie to you this entire game up until Final Five. So I did have your back and I didn't want to vote for you at Final Four, and I told you that. And then Louise, you're stating that Ruben relied heavily on pre-existing relationships when you did the exact same thing this entire game. Your speech, you said that you met new people, Robbie and Joel, but you backstabbed them in order to work with pre-existing relationships. So you cannot say that Ruben relied on pre-existing relationships when you did the exact same thing. So that statement was completely invalid, right? You're nodding, so I'm assuming, yep.
Oh, I can talk. Okay. Oh, I thought you wanted me to talk. I'm sorry.
No, I'd rather not hear your voice. Your voice is annoying. I had to deal with it this entire game. It was pretty irritating. Honestly, I don't really want to vote any of you, unfortunately. I think this is a really bad Final Three, if I'm going to be honest, and we spent so much in this game to deal with this as our Final Three, unfortunately. No offense to any of you, but it's just a really bad ending. And I think the game as a whole, how it ended up Final Five, is pretty humiliating, I would say, and depressing. But I've kind of moved on today. Today is a better day. Yes, obviously, after what happened yesterday, I was a mess, but I'm so much better today because I can stand here knowing that I value my friendship and I'm not going to go against that. And I know that I have a good heart and I love who I am. And I think a lot of you have a lot of questions after this game in terms of putting relationships on the line over a game. Victoria, you're good, but Louise and Ruben did that multiple times. So that's all I have to say. This is a game. I'll probably still talk to all of you, including you, Ruben. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah. So congrats to whoever wins, but I don't think it's deserving.
Love you. Yikes.
Okay, and we're just waiting on the next juror.
Is this the last one?
The next juror is Mark. And Mark, you have 10
Sorry, I
minutes.
was supposed to be here earlier, but I wasn't. Can you hear me okay? Hey, Final Three, my friends. I wouldn't say this is my ideal Final Three, but I'd say you all made it here and you all deserve it. I think, and I stand for everyone else, that it should have been me, Victoria, and Louise. Ruben was the forerunner to win this game. Ruben was going to absolutely win, and he was, no matter what I say, he is a great ally and a great person. I told him on call I was very emotional. I didn't want to vote him, but I had to. But I do feel that me, Louise, and Victoria as the Final Three would have been phenomenal. With his foreshadowing of winning this game, it got messy at 5. At 5, we saw tantrums, threatening deception, threatening friendships, and borderline being a brat. And I do not want to see the winner of this game have that kind of reputation. I would absolutely vote for Ruben otherwise. I love you, but I can't vote for you tonight. So that leaves me between Louise and Victoria. Louise, we worked together most of this game. You are a really good ally I felt like our collaborations, like you were always up late, I was always up late. We talked well. But I knew that your hand was in a lot of different cookie jars at that time. I did feel like you rode Ruben's coattails a lot of the game. And then at the point of 5, when we had to get rid of Ruben to ensure your win, that whole final 5 really turned the whole course of the game. Meanwhile, I was with Victoria for mostly all of the game. I think Victoria played a great underdog, an underrated game. She helped me get idols when I got 8 votes. I think throughout the season, she received more votes than me total. If she was always the target, she still made it here the same way all of you did. She gave me keys, she gave Zach keys, she gave Ruben keys. She gave keys to a lot of people, never played an idol on herself, never had to play an idol on anyone. Did we just lose Louise? Well, that's that. I would just like the jury to appreciate how Victoria played if she wasn't super social with you. That underdog story arc, if this was on CBS, I think the edit and the beauty of that would have fans very happy. I love Ruben to death, but I used this analogy earlier when I was talking to Riley the day I left. This is a game. If we're playing Monopoly and you land on Park Place, you're going to pay me $2,000. You're not going to hate me tomorrow, and I won't hate you. It's the same thing. We all signed up for this. This wasn't summer camp. We did this to vote each other out. And if friendships cannot last beyond what happened in this game, that's trying too hard to survive. It was messy. This game got dirty, and I did not want it to get dirty. With Louise's lies and how Ruben ended it, I don't want to see the winner of All Stars have that kind of reputation. I wish you all the best, but I do have one simple yes or no question for all of you. Louise, are you proud of how you played this game? Ruben, are you proud of how you played this game?
No.
Victoria, are you proud of how you played this game?
I mean, I could have done things better.
Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. I wish all of you the best of luck. I love you guys. Good luck. I can't even.
He didn't ask me nothing, did he? Because I lagged bad and I didn't hear him at all for a while.
No.
He asked
you
me.
didn't get a question.
Oh, okay.
So that was it for the jury's statements and questions. We're going to get to closing statements now. For this, you will only have 5 minutes to give a closing statement. We'll do reverse order. So, Luis, you will go first, then Victoria, then Ruben. So, Luis, you will have 5 minutes to give a closing statement. And Courtney, just let him know when he's good.
Okay, you have 5 minutes starting now.
Jury, I know I fucked up tonight. I'm not good at stuff like this. I just hope my game speaks loud for me. I really want this more than anything. I worked so hard for it. And yeah, like I said, I thought Riley was the biggest target, like the biggest threat in this game, and I still believe he's the biggest threat. That's why I went after him. Final 5, I was heartbroken and devastated because I voted Ruben, someone I care about and love, and it really hurt me. And I don't want to cry, but it just sucks that I just hope that my game speaks loud for me. I was devastated that round, and I'm sorry I had to lie to you, Riley. I know you hate me, but you did it first. So an eye for an eye. You fucked me up bad in Final 5, Riley. That's the only reason why I did that to you in Final 4. But my move is that I made Ruben and Riley turn on each other when Riley told me that Ruben was going to give him an immunity. I went to Ruben and I told him that Riley told me that I needed to do that just to secure a spot in the final 3. And I think it helped. Like Victoria said last minute, changed her mind to do Riley just because, like I said, he was a big threat. And again, I'm sorry I fucked up. I'm not good at stuff like this, but for everybody that I worked with, you saw how I played this game. You saw everything I did. Hopefully I get your jury votes tonight. I'm not good at talking like this. So like I said, I just hope my game speaks louder volumes than this poor performance tonight. I'm sorry. I just get nervous and I talk too much. And when I talk too much, I don't even know what I'm saying. Just I hope my game speaks louder. That's all I have to say.
My turn?
Yep, you have 5 minutes, Victoria. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say thank you for your questions and your comments, even though if they weren't nice and you didn't let me talk. Just to sum up my points, I was an underdog the whole fucking time. That came out on top every time. People tried to get me out and they couldn't. They didn't have numbers. I played the cleanest and the most honest game. I stayed loyal to my allies completely, 100%, all while being part of big moves that were played in the game. Not all of them, but most of them. We all played different games, and it took us different paths to get here. So, it's now up to you to decide who did it the best. I didn't need any special powers or idols to get myself here tonight. It forced me to outwit 27 players by planning the moves and making the idols and befriending the right people. Sorry if you weren't one of them and you try to dog my social game, but I talked to the people that I thought were going to benefit me the most. I outplayed 27 players by, winning immunities, whether it's tribal immunities or individual immunities. And lastly, us three outlasted 27 players by being here tonight and pleading our case. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay, and Ruben, you have 5 minutes starting now.
Okay. So when this game is over, just know that I'm not a racist. I'm not a horrible person. I'm not an awful person. I did a shitty thing at Final Five. You guys pretty much admitted I played the better game. So basically it's not about if I played a good game or if I played a bad game. It's about if you can get over what I did at Final Five, what I said, what I did, what I did to someone that was close to me, someone that was really, really good friends with me. And it's really about, do you want to give the one to me still, even though I fucked up. I wouldn't have been here if I didn't do it. That doesn't say anything about it being okay or anything. I still wouldn't be here, so I still wouldn't have won regardless. I got extremely passionate about this game. As you can tell, I got extremely passionate about this game, and Riley knew how much it meant to me. He knew how much, because this is my last game. I'm not playing any more games after this. And he knew how much it meant to me, and get to Final Five, and I got emotional like I always do, and I said things. Would I've actually done it? No. Would have I ended our friendship? No. But I was emotional. I was defensive. I reacted the way I did. And I will regret that for the rest of my life. Even if me and Riley still stay friends after this, I will still regret it because I did it in front of everybody. Everybody saw it. Everybody knows. And people will think I'm a horrible person. Yeah, that's all I got. Just, if you can't vote for me tonight, that's fine. Obviously, like I said, I think I played a better game than my fellow two finalists. I'm not going to shit on their game at all, but I feel like I played a better game overall. But the only thing I ask is just don't let one night, 1 hour of what I did affect your vision of me. That's all I got.
All right, so thank you guys for those. So now you guys can just sit back and relax as the jury is now going to vote for a winner. So just bear with us. The jury is now going to vote, and then soon we will have a winner. So just kick back and relax for now.
Okay, while the jury is voting and while you guys are waiting, I wanted to share a fun fact with you. So if you remember back to the very beginning of the game, I know it was like 6 months ago, you were invited by one member of production only. That is because we kind of picked our own fantasy teams. So if you think back to who you were picked by, that is the person that picked you for their fantasy team. And what's interesting about this is that we each have one member of our teams left standing here at the final three.
Well, thank you for the support, Courtney. Sorry.
I can't remember who messaged me.
I'll let you down with this sucky performance.
It was Tyler because Eric messaged me.
Okay. Oh, well, the OG picked me.
Congrats to one of you guys. You guys deserve it.
Congrats to one of you guys. That was a horrible performance. This is probably gonna be my last game.
Hey, Luis.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to send me something in the mail?
I am. You just gotta wait for it.
I've been waiting since January.
Okay, baby. I had a job then. I don't have a job to my funds. If I win, I'll send it with the cash if I win. But I don't see that. Can y'all hear me still, or did I like? I think because everybody went on mute.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go.
All right, so can you guys see me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I have all the votes. So I just want to say, as crazy, long, and messy this game has been, you guys should be very proud of yourselves. I want to thank every all-star for coming back. This has been quite the game. Didn't know what to expect coming in with a 30-person cast, but you guys made it quite interesting. I wish all three of you best of luck on who wins tonight. So with that, let's get to the votes. Here we go. First vote, Luis. Victoria. Ruben. It's one vote for all three of you. Luis. Victoria. Ruben. That's two votes for all three of you. Victoria. Luis. That is 3 votes Luis, 3 votes Victoria, 2 votes Ruben. Luis. That is 4 votes Luis, 3 votes Victoria, 2 votes Ruben, 1 vote left. Victoria. We have a tie between Ruben and Victoria. So because we have a tie, how it's going to work, Ruben, since you got 3rd place, you now become the 11th member of the jury. You will go into your production chat right now and you will cast your vote for Luis or Victoria to win. What you'll do is type it and then come right back on camera. We don't want you telling the other two who you voted for. We want to keep this as secret as possible.
Oh my god!
Congrats, Louise.
Congrats, Victoria.
No.
So
Congrats.
congrats to. Okay.
No,
All right. Ruben has cast his vote, so we do have a winner now. The winner of Annihilation All Stars, Luis.
Oh my god! Thank you so much, Ruben. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Oh my god. I'm $100 richer. No, but for real, thank you so much, Ruben. If I said anything bad today, I'm sorry. Like, I was just so nervous. I started talking so much. Thank you guys. And I'm sorry I fucked up this performance. I'm glad my game, like, I'm not even that happy because of the poor performance that I did tonight, but I'm glad that my game spoke for this. And Dina, this was for you. Like, this was, yeah. Sorry, y'all. If y'all are watching this, the public, I'm sorry. Like, y'all just needed to be in the game. I suck at this final. This is my last game. I'm never playing this again. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Sorry, everybody. Thank
Congrats
you.
to my fantasy pick. I picked right.
Did I win? Did I really win? I'm sorry. Like, it's not even like hitting me. Like, I wanted this so bad. And I can't even cry just because I'm so happy. Like, I wanted it so bad. Like, I stayed up so many nights wanting this so bad. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Ruben. If you're still on, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm still there. You deserved it. You played better game. And like I said, you played the exact same game, and that was the difference. The difference was that I let things get emotional, personal, and you deserved it. I know exactly, like Victoria, no offense, she's gone, but I don't know her game that well. She wasn't around that much. She didn't talk to the other side that much, but I know that you made a lot of big moves together, and Jury's right. There's a lot of moves that I could have done without you. So you deserve it.
And you know what, Ruben? Even if I wasn't going to win this game, just meeting you, that's all that mattered. That's why I brought you here. Like,
Thank you, Luis. Appreciate it.
With you.
Congrats, man.
And I hope we can be friends. Thank you. Okay. Do we leave or like what are we supposed to do?
I don't know. It's still